There's a lot of things in the Marine 4 that go boom.
If you want an action film, this is the one you want to go see.
The weapons that are being used are endless.
You just kind of go for it, and it's fun.
We've got it all. Rocket launchers, grenades, handguns, machine guns. It's pretty sweet. This film is definitely, from the get-go, non-stop, action-packed, gunfights, you name it, it's in it. It's non-stop, action-packed the entire ride.
You can tell someone what it's like to shoot a big weapon like that, but I don't think they really realize what it is till they've done it.
Firearms are the fuel that keep an action film moving and audiences on the edge of their seats. But the Marine franchise, above all other films in the genre, must first and foremost be authentic to their namesake. With that in mind, producers paired lead armorer Rob Fournier and director Will Kaufman, both packing military-grade pedigree.
Will, being ex-Army like myself, we hit it off the minute we met because we could understand each other. We spoke the same language, and we were both infantry, so the tactics were the same. And he relies on me heavily in order to get the shot right. He's big on realism. He wants the actor holding the rifle correctly, and he wants them moving with the weapon correctly. Not just for our lead actors either, it has to be right across the board.
I told Rob right from the beginning, listen, I'm a Marine. I need to know exactly the way they carry a gun. I need to know exactly the way they look in a situation and how they walk, because I wanted to be able to, you know, go back home and people be like, you know what, you did a good job.
I think Mike, he would have been a good soldier if he would have ever joined the military, because he's not afraid to push the limits on it. He's extremely physical when it comes to that, and for him, it's a piece of cake.
Training WWE superstar Summer Rae as an assassin was a process that began months prior to filming.
I have actually never shot a weapon. It was very cool. We were able to learn the ins and outs of it, locking and loading a gun, how to hold it properly, finger off the trigger when I'm not shooting, but we didn't get to shoot live.
Firing real hardware would have to wait until Summer arrived on set in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Rob, the armorer, halted everything, and so he took me out to the lake, and he told me to unload it. It was insane.
I think there was actually a line where I was supposed to be like a trained expert with a gun, and I think they took it out just knowing that I probably didn't know what I was doing.
Are you ready?
Of course not.
Melissa is playing a strong, dominant female as well, but her character kind of evolves later in the movie. She even gets surprised at how well she shoots the gun when she's in that situation where it's do or die.
I've gone to shooting ranges before, so I've gone in like shotguns for fun with friends and stuff. I couldn't tell you which ones they were. It was fun.
She's actually picking up a lot of the techniques from the other cast members and trying to apply it to herself. And so far, she's done really, really well. I've only had to correct a few little things to make her look that much better.
Rob Fournier, he's ex-Canadian Army, and he'll give you not only what you would do, but why you would do it and why it needs to be done in a certain way. Because anybody who watches a film called The Marine is going to be expecting that it's legit.
We pan up and we see Vogel for the first time. Then we know the Marine's in trouble, because I'm on the case. We're all highly trained, ex-Army, ex-Marine, ex-Special Forces. So the armorers on the show really wanted to make sure that all of the weapons we were using were weapons that would have been used by these guys.
On Marine 4, we have almost 40 different firearms that we're using throughout the feature itself. The Israeli Galil, an excellent medium-range rifle, full auto Beretta 93R, an HK SL8. It's a .223 caliber rifle.
Why did you call?
Para-Ordnance P14 and HK P30L. Deuce over and under 40mm grenade launcher. And HK UMP, which is a .45 caliber submachine gun.
I think we've tried to approach this from an angle that's almost fetishistic in terms of the accuracy. And also, since there are so many guns and weapons in the show, hoping that they reflect a little bit, not just the action, but also the personality and the professionalism of our mercenaries, sort of help to build the character.
Actors moving like an elite infantry while carrying the latest weapons is only half the battle being waged in the forests of Vancouver. In an age of digital effects, producers opt to bring the heat with live-fire blank rounds to provide the most bang for the buck.
We have weapons of different calibers and loads on this feature. And some loads we use are full loads because they function better in certain weapons for flash effect and for a more dynamic shot, especially in subdued light like you see in the forest here. This production will do in between 10 and 15,000 rounds.
So we're on about day 2 of the ambush scene, and I'd say we probably picked up around 2,000 bullets every day, and there's a lot more on the way, so we're getting very used to shell casings.
On screen, blanks get the job done. But how do they work?
Anything that's semi or fully automatic needs a constrictor. And what a constrictor is exactly that. It constricts the gases when you fire a blank, which is gunpowder burning down the barrel that gives you that big flash and bang. And by the law of physics, you need to constrict these gases in order for the weapon to simulate a live fire weapon in film and television. Most of those gases escape through this constrictor. 90% leaves the barrel, gives you the flash. 10 to 15% hits the walls of that constrictor and forces it to operate, meaning the mechanism inside is forced in a rearward position. This ejects the casing and also chambers the next one by spring action. And without this, any semi or fully automatic weapon would not work by the laws of physics.
I don't think you can really train getting shot at in a movie. There's squibs all around. There's bullet dust. There's a lot of impact, a lot of things going on that you're definitely not used to. I mean, you can rehearse all you want. You can go over the scene as much as you want on the paper, but once you get out there, once you get in that scene, it's a whole different ball game.
In order to simulate incoming gunfire, the special effects team filled the set with small explosive charges called squibs. These squibs, when activated, explode, leaving a blast of dust and debris in their wake.
We have charges inside these pieces of cork here, and we're placing them into the stumps and under some moss and some in the ground. This connects to a leg wire on it. This connects to another leg wire that we take to our firing system. And as our character runs through, we'll be chasing them, firing them from an electronic firing system.
As the blanks do their job, the squibs sell the scene perfectly.
They're flanking! Watch your 3 and 9!
While squibs are highly effective in simulating gunfire, they can be planted anywhere on the set or in vehicles.
Several of these vehicles, at least 3 of them, are full of pyrotechnics and effects. They have multiple bullet holes pre-drilled in them with squibs in place so that it's going to appear when we shoot them that there's actually bullets hitting them.
To add to the chaos of the ambush scene, the special effects team paints the exterior of a Hawthorne security vehicle in a special flammable paste that will continue to burn until the scene has completed shooting.
It's a little mixture of some contact cement and some roofing tar and a little bit of white gas. Simulating there was a RPG that hit this Tahoe, and now it's sitting here on fire as the agents are piling out.
Where there are bullets, there is bloodshed. And aside from selling gunfire, squibs have another role to play.
Doing bullet hits, we call them squibs, that are underneath a pouch of blood, basically, and which simulates being hit with a bullet. So placement of those is very critical, and because they are a small explosive. They can take out eyes, they can burn skin, so basically where we put them, the placement on the body has to be good for our talent.
So what we're doing right now is wiring a single shot on a remote pack for remote fire.
You go through the Tahoes and you see the blowing up. You go through the woods and you go to the lake house. From the lake house, we get in a boat, and then we're in a police station. Then we're out in the forest again. It's just one after another. It is non-stop action, and it's going. Once we're going, and it's like the first 5 minutes, it's like, oh, blah, 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 boom.